Have you ever looked at a map and wondered who the very first people to walk on this land were? Long before any ships sailed across the big ocean? Let's journey back in time, thousands and thousands of years ago, with a curious young boy named Kai and his wise grandmother, Lena. As they sit under a blanket of shimmering stars, Lena begins a story, not of kings and queens, but of brave families and the great journey. Imagine a world much colder than today, where giant sheets of ice covered the land and the oceans were lower. A wide bridge of land, now hidden beneath the water, connected Asia and North America. It was across this land bridge, called Beringia, that the first explorers, following herds of giant woolly mammoths and other animals for food, walked into a new world. They weren't just wandering, they were brave pioneers, families moving together into an unknown, vast continent. As the great ice melted and the world warmed, these early people began to spread out like seeds carried on the wind. Some traveled south where the sun was warm and the jungles were thick with life. Others went east into vast forests filled with tall trees and rushing rivers. And some made their homes on the wide open plains or in the dry, beautiful deserts of the West. Each group learned to live with the land, becoming experts in their own special part of the world. They weren't all the same. They developed their own unique ways of life, their own languages, and their own amazing stories. Down in the lush lands of Central and South America, some of these groups built incredible civilizations. The Maya, for example, became brilliant astronomers, studying the stars from the tops of magnificent stars. Further south, the Aztec built a breathtaking capital city called Tenochtitlan, which seemed to float on the water of a giant lake, connected by causeways and filled with vibrant markets and beautiful temples. They were clever engineers and farmers, creating floating gardens to grow their food. And high in the Andes Mountains, the Inca created a vast empire connected by thousands of miles of roads and bridges, a true marvel of engineering. With cities like Machu Picchu nestled among the clouds. But amazing cultures were blossoming in North America too. In the dense woodlands of the Northeast, people like the Iroquois built sturdy longhouses where many families lived together. And they formed a great league of nations to bring peace and cooperation. On the Great Plains, nomadic groups followed the massive herds of bison, which provided everything they needed: food, clothing. And in the Southwest, the Pueblo peoples became master farmers in the dry land, building incredible homes like cliff dwellings, entire villages tucked into the sides of canyons. Each of these many groups had a deep connection to the earth, understanding the seasons, the plants, and the animals around them. They were artists, storytellers, scientists, and builders. So you see, long before the first European ships appeared on the horizon, the Americas were already a land of bustling cities, peaceful villages, and countless different cultures, each with its own rich history and traditions. This land was not empty. It was a vibrant tapestry of people who had been calling it home for thousands of years. A story written on the mountains, in the rivers, and in the stars. And as the world's oceans seemed to get wider, a new and unexpected chapter for these first Americans was just about to begin. What do you think?